Eve, it's also been brilliant getting to know you over the last few months, and we're both so honoured that you're here, despite you having a new niece in Sydney, so mazel tov for that as well. Ben, from both Anna and I, thank you so much for being our MC today. You've done a brilliant job, and we're honoured to have you introducing us. And on a personal note, since I first met you, you've made me feel a real part of the family. I've felt completely at home with you all the way through, and thank you for being so warm and welcoming. And it's been lovely to get to know Holly as well, so thank you for that. Our speech was open today with both Paul and Dad standing up to talk together. So as soon as Anna and I announced we were engaged, one of the first things that happened was that Paul asked Dad if he would also like to speak and also like to welcome everyone today. And as they mentioned, their speech was forged over numerous salt beef lunches in Edgware. But for me, this completely sums up just how welcoming and inclusive Paul and Ruth have both been towards first me and later my parents right from the beginning. You make us feel completely part of your family. I've always felt at home in your house, and you've welcomed me in with a warmth and a kindness that has made me feel like I've always known you. You really are two of the most generous, kind-hearted, genuine and lovely people I could ever hope to meet, and I know that our families have a long and happy future together. If the conversation stalls, you can always talk about the cats. I also specifically want to thank you both for your blessing in giving away Anna to me. I know it's not been easy for you. I think Paul particularly, you found it hard to give away your little girl. But I promise you she's in good hands. And to come back to what you said in your speech, but please don't worry, I have no desire to usurp your position going to Liverpool every Saturday. That one's for you. I think my parents also deserve a mention here. Dad is and remains my model for how to be a success in life. He moved from Glasgow after university to work in television. He ended up setting up his own business, which he went on to sell, and since then you've given an extraordinary amount of yourself in charity work, donations, specifically to Abbeyfield Camden, the Prince's Trust, FRS, Emmanuel College, and a whole host of other things I don't even know about. But through all of this, you've remained a wonderful, generous, kind and caring father, and I still completely rely on you for all my big decisions. I'm unbelievably proud of you, and I don't tell you this often enough. Unfortunately, I've also inherited from you the tendency to fall asleep often and unexpectedly. And you tell me that your sense of humour is also genetic, but apart from that, you're perfect. Mum also is absolutely multi-talented. As anyone knows, she cooks, sews, knits expertly, and you also do a huge amount of charity work, particularly with the Employment Resource Centre. Of course, you too have a few foibles that would be unfair of me not to point out, particularly an unfathomable obsession with all things feline, and a tendency to shout, "Yo, baby," at times of excitement. However, Mum has a huge heart, limitless generosity, and you truly are one of those people who would do anything for you. You've been the perfect mother to David and I. Both you and Dad have also shown Anna and the Passionix the same love and friendship and welcome that they've shown us, and I know how thrilled you are at the joining of our families. It's a funny thing writing a wedding speech. You try and imagine what it's going to feel like standing up here and talking and delivering it. However many times you practice it at home, or how many times you haven't yet practiced it at home, you can't visualise it really. But this is the bit I'm most nervous about, how to put into words to Anna about how I feel about her. As some as you may know, I occasionally get little bits of grit in my eye, particularly at weddings, perhaps particularly at my own. My eyes might water a little bit, but I like to state in confidence to you all that I don't cry. But this is perhaps a bit of a worry, but let's see how I do. Anna and I had an inauspicious start. Some of you may know that she forgot her wallet on our first date. Claims she felt very guilty about this, and the only reason I got a second date was so she could pay me back. Fast forward a few weeks when we were walking back to her flat in West Hampstead at the time, just chatting. Things have been going well between us, and I used the word girlfriend for the first time. So she turned to me with a funny look and said, "You just said the G word." Clearly missing the significance of this, I replied, "What, ginger?" She was not impressed. That's absolutely true. She is, however, very ginger.